I'm waiting for it to go live. It is Wednesday. I am Kristen, wine club manager at Cachio Pepe Winery. It is Wednesday. How do I know? Because we are live, and I have my special guest today, which is our fabulous Chef Jim May. You guys may know him if you came to the tasting room. Clearly, he's there. If you tune into Perfectly Paired, second Wednesday of every month, Jim perfectly pairs one of our wines.
One of our wines with one of my favorite foods. And it's always going to be a different wine. It's always going to be different food. And you can always find our recipe online afterwards.
And then you try to do the recipe. Oh, we're going to talk about some of your recipes, actually, because they're fun. And I've done a couple. I love it. And Jonathan actually reached out to us last time for your gravy recipe. He said he made your gravy for Thanksgiving. Fantastic. You brined a turkey and you did
my grandmother's stuffing recipe. Grandma B, she was French, and she did what she had to do to make it French. And but we put in mushrooms and all kinds of.
What makes it French? Bechamel.
Yeah, bechamel.
Did you have bechamel?
No, we had a custard. It was a custard thing. It just she was adapted it to American French things.
Oh, I was talking to my kids about going to France, and they said they would eat French fries and French toast. My kids are American in public school. Anyways, I digress. So today, Chef Jim did his beef Wellington. He's going to feature next week's Perfectly Paired. So he taped that today. So we're going to get a chance to try that as well. And because he made beef Wellington, it's one of my favorites. Salmon Wellington also is something you've done in the past for our newsletter that's on the website. So Wellington it up. But because he made it today, I decided we'd do this here today solely so I could get it.
And she's going to try it when she gets a moment, but that's a little chat for.
Here's the beef Wellington with spinach, because you have to eat your greens.
Yeah, puff pastry with duxelles, all made with red wine. And then I did a red wine shallot sauce to go with it. And we actually had it with, and Renee Perry, our co-owner and co-founder, was here and brought the wine with her.
Do you see what's wrong with this bottle?
It's gone.
It's empty. Thanks, Renee.
Thanks. Yes. It was a good lunch. But anyway, I've already had it, and I want her to try it with the newness, the 2018, and we also have the 2018 Russian River.
We do. So Russian River. So Nunes is a single vineyard in Russian River. Then we have a Russian River blend. So I'll try that in a moment. What is duxelle?
Duxelles is a reduction of chopped up mushrooms sauteed with garlic. Usually it's white wine. Garlic, shallots, white wine. I substituted red wine because that's what we do best. And we do a Chardonnay, and that would be good with it. But this is all centered towards the Pinot Noir.
All right, so next week, tune in at 4 o'clock on Wednesday. Jim's going to take you through that recipe. It'll be available on our website. And I've done a couple of your recipes. They're amazing. In fact, you were one of our guests. I'm trying to remember early on one of our Wine Wednesdays, and I challenged you. If you've been watching these, you know I'm not the best cook. So I challenged Jim to go into his pantry and find me an easy item anybody can make, possibly 5 ingredients or less, and you came up with
Cachio Pepe,
which is
it's a nice Italian dish with Parmesan or Pecorino cheese, black pepper, and pasta. And you just you cook it and add a little pasta water to make it a sauce, and it's delicious, and it goes great with one of our spicier Pinots. At the time, I forget which one that we paired it with. Probably a Pinot or Alaris.
I have no idea.
I know.
But it's one thing I've actually learned from you is pasta water is actually an important ingredient in a lot of dishes. I always toss it down the sink when I seed the pasta. But also, you put the pepper in the butter to make it bloom.
Right, which releases the flavors and kind of, you do it with spices as well. You can do it with chilies and powder or powdered spices or with whole spices, but you heat it up and toast it like with fennel seeds and it releases all the flavor to it, and it makes it better.
I don't have fennel seeds.
Okay. How about whole cloves?
I don't have whole cloves either.
Cinnamon?
Yeah, cinnamon powder.
That'll work. You toast that a little bit and it releases the oils, and it makes it blooms. It intensifies the flavors.
Okay, so 5 ingredients, Cachio Pepe. Give me another 5 ingredient dish If you can think of Jim's
I'm on an
pantry
Italian.
well, your pantry is very different than my pantry. Let's be clear.
So you don't have truffles?
No, no. What else do you have in your pantry?
Well, I have yuzu sauce and truffles,
No.
and I have lilikoi for those desserts and things like that.
I have flour, brown sugar.
How about pasta?
I have pasta.
Do you have bacon?
Yes.
Do you have Parmesan cheese?
Yes.
That's carbonara. A few eggs.
Yes.
That's it. 4 ingredients. You got another Italian dish that goes great with pasta.
All right, you got to do that on Perfectly Paired one day. Pasta carbonara. I am fat, so single mom with 2 teenagers. I need fast foods. I do the HelloFreshes, the Every Plates, all those sometimes because they're easy. Everything's there. I like your recipes. You, I have to shop ahead sometimes for them, but you also make it easy to put together. He does all the recipes in the newsletter. So if you're a club member, spring and fall, you get newsletters with the recipes. All our recipes online, tried and true. And the best thing is, we'll ask Jim for a recipe. We'll pick a wine to pair. So we give Jim the wine. He goes, what recipe do I want to do? You come up with a recipe, and then we try it 3 or 4 times. That's my favorite.
And like I said, I have a palate that is different than anybody else's, but I like to get feedback along the way. So we do, like I said, when I do a recipe, I'll try it out on some of the staff and see what they think. And I'll take criticism, not very well, but I'll take criticism.
I don't give any criticism.
I think it's time to try another wine.
Okay, so that we tried that was the last of the 18 Nunes, which is one of our single vineyards. It's over in Russian River Valley. Fred and Wendy Nunes are fantastic. It used to be an old pig farm. To me, that's one of our more acidic wines, food friendly without a doubt. Got that bright candy almost flavors to it is what I think.
And it's got some depth to it too.
Yes.
I mean, it is a warmer vineyard, so it has a little more of that dark cherry and cassis to it. But it did go really well with our
I'll get there.
Our beef Wellington. But we're going to try another one because almost any Pinot will go with the dishes I make. But I do fine tune it to go with the specific wine that I think it goes best with. Or they give me the wine and I'll play with it.
So I brought the 18 Russian because right now this is one of my personal favorites. I love the blends. I think sometimes the blends get the short end of the stick because people want to delve into the big nuances with the single vineyards and the clones. The problem is I like them all. What is this, you say? Welcome to California. We have fruit flies here, and we've discovered these custom-made little cups that fit directly in our Pinot, and then the fruit flies can't drink our wine, and even more importantly, we can't drink the fruit flies.
That's right.
So that's what that is.
It's not a shot glass or a Jello shot.
Those are for later.
Yeah.
Okay. So 18 Russian, 1 to 5 vineyards. Oh, Dan wants some too. Hold on.
So last year, during the horrible COVID year, I went through my wine cellar and I found a 2010 Russian River. And I thought, oh, this is going to be old and past its prime. And I opened it and it had this chocolatey, silky, cherry richness to it. It was the best wine I've had at Papa Pietro in my memory. It was just Papa Pietro Perry. Yeah, so sorry.
You're just so excited about that 2010, and don't blame me. So when I first started at the winery 8.5 years ago, do you remember this?
I do remember. She was actually being interviewed, and I came into the room, and she got up and introduced herself like a star. And I'm sorry, I got to fly. And I go, this girl's got to be hired, and she was.
And I was. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's been great ever since. It keeps getting better.
It keeps getting better. So when I first met Jim, Jim likes the younger vintages. He likes the newer vintages, better way to put it. They have more of that fruit forwardness, more of that bright acidity.
Young and fruity.
A little brighter. Young and fruity is your style. I like old, dirty, funky. I love the older wines. Kind of like my men. I know Dan wanted me to say that. Anyways, if you've met me, you've heard me say it. Anyways, I love the older wines because I think there's some character to them. They delve into them. They get a little more mature. The problem is I like all the new ones too.
Oh yeah, see,
well
we
done,
both
Dan.
have made.
Yeah. And who are you?
I don't know. And who are you going with the young and fruitier one? But when you have it young and fruity, you can see the potential at it. And I will say I've had some of the older wines to her when she recommends it, and I love them. Not all of them, but all of ours.
No.
I've had some other
Ben,
old wines.
I know you're on here. Ben, you do an amazing job with your wines. I've said this to you time and time again. We were opening the 11 Russian River in a Magnum format at the club party.
Oh.
Amazing. We opened an 06 3-liter a few years ago at a club part at our holiday party, and everyone was mad they didn't have any more to sell. Our older wines are great, and Magnums are available online. We've got older vintages, and actually we now have a library page on our website too for older vintages. But Jim, let's get back to you for a minute because I'm 10 minutes in and I haven't talked to you about you. Oh yeah, see Ron, he made some great older wines available. Oh yeah, Ron, I took Ron by the hand in the back of the warehouse and we went through all of our older vintages, and
he didn't wipe us out.
He got some treasures to take home. And the cool thing about the older vintages is you can get the wines and you can drink them now because you don't necessarily have to age them, but they can go a little longer. That's the beauty. All right, Jim. So your background, Jim has not worked at a winery all his life. Jim actually has a cookbook. Check this out. So here is Jim. Oh, should I hide the name of the other winery?
Another winery. It was years ago.
Years ago when he was young and needed the money.
Yeah.
But he has a cookbook, which is absolutely awesome.
I still get people emailing me about how they love the different recipes in there. And there's actually a review from the East Coast on my cookbook.
Did you sign your own cookbook?
I did not.
Oh.
No, what? Oh, I did.
Oh, yes, he did.
Oh, that's to my wife.
Oh, it's his wife's cookbook.
Yeah.
It's not even
to Jim, hope you enjoy it.
To Jim, keep cooking.
Yeah, right.
So you had a cookbook, but you're CIA trained?
No, not at all. I'm trained at restaurants. Oh. I started cooking when I was like 19. My grandparents were French. Okay. I've been drinking wine since I was illegal, but my grandmother would always have a white Bordeaux, a Sauvignon Blanc at dinner, and we'd eat there at least once a week.
And you drink too?
Of course.
With water?
No, that's what they kept threatening me with. They kept saying in France, we'd have to mix this with water, and I go, that's criminal. Or I didn't say it quite like that, but it was
so
criminal.
So if you don't do your homework, we're going to put water in your wine?
Yeah, right.
Is that what they do?
And boy, I did my homework.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I was a straight A.
We'd always start with a Corbel Natural. We'd have a white wine, a Sauvignon Blanc from France. And my grandfather, his go-to was George Latour Cabernet from BV Vineyards. And I had them from the 50s and 60s and 70s. And
that's awesome.
It was awesome. So when we did French, we did California, and we did California again. But it was quite an education. They let me develop my palate at an early age. And again, they cooked. I'm not like my mother, but they cooked quite well. We'd always have like leg of lamb with casseroles and stuff like that, and the Cabernet. And then from there, I started working in restaurants at 1920 and managed
always back of house?
Huh?
Always like in the back in the kitchen?
Yes.
Kitchen prep, all that?
Yep. I was a manager and chef at quite a few restaurants.
He has not been working in the kitchen since 1920. Have you?
No. Since I was 20.
Okay.
And worked at some great restaurants, Berries du Soleil, French Laundry, in LA at Scandia and the Derby and the Chronicle.
Did you ever work fast food?
I filled in for a friend when I was like 15 at Winchell's Donuts.
Oh, I was just curious. My first job was fast. Well, pizza and
but no, I never did fast food.
Okay.
But all these places had pretty good reputations. Like I said, Scandia was probably my education because it was like 6-7 days a week, and it was really high profile. All the stars would come there. It was the Hollywood Wine Society with Nate Croman, and they would do like verticals of Chateau Lafite from the 50s and 60s, and they'd bring back all these bottles that were half full or half empty. I'd say half full, and I'd say, just put those in the back, and I'll get to them after my shift. And I did. And
awesome.
Oh man, it was unbelievably good. So that was an education. And then when I was at the French Laundry, it was not when Thomas Keller had it. It's when the Schmidts owned it. And the Don Schmidt was in the front. Sally Schmidt was the chef. And Don would always come back. We had Andre Chelichev and all these people bringing in wines from the 40s and 50s. And he would bring back probably 8 to 10 glasses of wine to me, double blind, and say, try these and tell me what you think. And so, I mean, I worked there for a year or two and ended up taking all my pay in wine.
And I'll tell you too. So I am an old waitress, old restaurant. I was a front of house restaurant business for years and years and years. And I always share my wine. If I bring in wine to a restaurant and pay corkage or do whatnot, I always offer the staff to taste, the waitress or waiter to taste. And I usually say, grab a glass and pour, because if you don't, I will drink it. But I've tasted amazing wines from people sharing with me in the past. I love to share wine for other people. Ben said he trained as a chef in the Army.
Right.
I think that might be a little different. I don't think they were bringing you verticals of Chateau Lafite.
He was cooking.
I could be wrong and overstep, Ben. You can correct me and tell me.
I don't think they had Pinot with their meals.
We have to ask Ben for his SOS recipe.
Ben, what's your SOS recipe?
Oh.
Is that shit on a shingle?
Yes, that is.
That's what I grew up on. We called it chip beef because I wasn't allowed to cuss. Okay.
Okay, so, let's move on.
Because Ben is also a phenomenal chef.
Oh,
so Jim also, at the winery, those who may not know or may know, usually Monday through Friday, the winery is generous beyond a fault to make us lunch. And you do harvest.
Yeah, I do for the winemaking crew where the crew swells up. There's people doing punch downs and sorting, and it goes. We figure about 20 people a day, and so 5 days a week we make a meal that keeps them going, because they're punching down every 6 hours, and they got 170 bins.
What's the favorite? Meatball subs.
Meatball subs. The burgers. But we've done. Beef bourguignon, which is on last month's Perfectly Paired, and you were with me. Yeah, that had to be my favorite.
I don't miss a free meal. I was going to ask, what was your favorite Perfectly Paired?
Let me think back a month. I've done 13 of these, and that the first one was really fun with Cachio Pepe. That was it. That kind of set the bar.
It did set the bar.
And then we go from there, and now. The last one, the beef bourguignon, I think we did it with the Russian River.
No, we did it with the Laris.
Did we? Okay, never mind.
We did it with the 19 Laris, which is in the
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was that was really good, because there's so much meatiness and richness to it, and the 19 had this is actually for a young wine, rich and smooth.
Okay, so Ben said there's no free wine in the Army. Ben, or anybody else who's out there in the military, did you ever make your own hooch? I know in prison they do. In the Army, did you sneak all your raisins aside or your prunes, sneak them under your bed and make your own alcohol? I'm just I clearly never been in the Army or the military. What? I think it could be a thing.
You have the on-base, PX.
You have the BX, my bad. Is Papa Pietro Perry in the BX? PX.
Post-exchange.
If I say it fast enough, you guys won't know. Are they in the PX?
Back then, beer was $2.50 a case.
Oh, yeah. Dan clearly was in. Oh, Kristen, no. Oh, Crystal's chiming in. No, sorry. I don't know these things. I don't make my own either. I don't mean to make my own.
I made wine when I was young.
Did you make wine?
I made apple wine. My brother, bless his soul, he's still around, but he's older. He made pumpkin wine. Not a good thing.
Stick with food.
That's why,
you weren't hired as a winemaker?
No, and my wine, it turned out to be a Smart Clean apple wine.
Oh, Martinelli's?
Yeah. Except it had alcohol.
Is that where that came from?
No,
you're allowed to drink after work.
No, I leave it to the people that know what they're doing and have the palate like Ben.
Good segue. Jim has a great palate because Jim also is part of the Tasty Notes, and we had Tyson on our last live, and Tyson was talking about the Tasty Notes. So Ben is our winemaker. Tyson is our cellar master. I call it cellar rat. So sorry, Tyson. Cellar master. Dave's our assistant winemaker. The three guys make the wine, work together, and then they write the Tasty Notes. And they always bring Jim in to go through and get his palate as well, because you have
they do different blends. They do different blends, and they're all blind to me. And 9 times out of 10, mine will coincide with theirs. And my descriptions are more food oriented. And like I said, these taste like huckleberries, or this is like bay leaves and tea. Mine has a tendency to be a little more food oriented because that's where my passion lies, along with the wine. I mean, it does. It's a nice balance. Everyone's contributes to the blend, but I will say most of the time, my palate is in tune with theirs. So,
well, and you guys also, I know this has been staring at me, so I had to drink it. So yeah, we're gonna look at that. Ron asked, I noticed you're capping your glass in your bottle because of the age and not to lose the aroma. Nope, not at all. It is because the fruit flies want their share, and I, one of 6 kids, have shared enough in my life, and I don't need to share more. So I have it here because of the fruit flies. Otherwise, I am a big believer in no cork, and I'm a swirler. And I don't know if you've watched the whole thing, but I've already done this once with the cap in it because I'm not used to the cap. But no, it is not. And actually, I do recommend if you have this fancy cup, if you have to put it on your glass because of fruit flies. But are fruit flies all over the country, or are they just really here?
I don't think so.
Ron, do you have fruit flies? Yolanda, do you have fruit flies?
They're called Drosophila melanogaster, and it means moisture-sucking red-bellied gnats. Wow. And they don't live long, but they breed like crazy, and they love fermentation and vinegar and wine. And as soon as we get some cold weather, it's 78 degrees today in our neck of the woods.
All right, you're killing it. Now I'm wearing a jean jacket. I'm trying to tell you guys it's winter.
I got the windows. Yeah,
wow.
But until we get cold weather, like in the 30s, the fruit flies will just have a field day. They go crazy. They eat and drink and breed.
They do know good wine. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, they do. They just keep breeding. Well, if you ever leave like bananas out, or peaches or apples out, and they start rotting, the fruit flies all come around, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but we usually have a fruit bowl right there on the counter, and it's empty and put away for now. Because it's not. It's apples, it's oranges, it's every fruit you can think of.
Hence the name fruit flies.
Yeah,
I'm catching this.
Okay.
Ron said, not in New Jersey in the fall and winter, but in the summer. Florida has love bugs, and if you Floridians know love bugs,
what are those?
Suck. Oh my God, they're disgusting. There's 2 little black bugs that connect, i.e. love bugs.
Oh.
And they float around real lazy.
Sweet.
No, they don't. They eat the paint off your car. They're disgusting.
Oh. They don't bite or sting or anything.
No, they don't do anything but annoy you.
Yeah.
Because they're just lazy.
Fruit flies will go to the moisture in your eyes and nose and wine. So that's
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, that's why we drink so fast.
Wait, they go to the moisture in your eyes?
Yeah, you've never had them in your eyes?
Not that I know.
No, I've had them in my eyes. They go to the eyes, they'll go in your nose, they'll swallow.
Disgusting.
You just have to be there at the right time.
So we have a lot of protein out here. Out here in California.
Yeah, we hope to be rid of them in the next 2-3 weeks. We're getting a cold front.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. Talking about our lives and your what besides your one with me, your perfectly paired that you did with me and the beef bourguignon, which is in our fall newsletter. Bourguignon, did I say that right?
Bourguignon. It was so close.
Bourguignon.
Yeah.
Bourguignon.
Bourguignon. Yeah, which means beef Burgundy. It's a stew with red wine, and the red wine in Burgundy is going to be a Pinot. So I didn't use the whole bottle. I tapered it back, so you only use about a cup or 2.
Well, because you have to drink it. Okay, Angela's saying they're drinking the 16 Nunez. How's that tasting? I bet that's amazing. In Cincinnati, and they have fruit flies in the summer. Okay, I don't feel so bad. And Ron said, I read French grandmas. I actually have heard this, Ron. Put a wine cork in the fruit bowl to chase the fruit flies away. I tried that because I did hear that. It didn't chase. It could have chased them away, but not all.
I think it attracts them. Doesn't it? A cork attracts them.
Well, there's a lot of wine on.
They're on here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good point. What is then French grandmas? I think that's your grandma's fault.
Yeah. I don't remember fruit flies down there, but they.
Where's down there? Where'd you grow up?
Pasadena. Pasadena, born and raised, and moved up here 40 years ago. 40 years ago to Napa Valley.
When you were 3?
When I was 14. No.
Did you just give your age?
That's a lie.
In the 1920s.
In the
1920s. I look remarkably good because of wine.
We should do 2 truths and a lie, but I won't bore everybody with that one. Angela said it's tasting awesome. I bet it is. The 18 was tasting pretty dang. Problem is, Ben, your wines go down so easy.
Yeah.
They're so
good.
The
16, those that got the 16 in the wine club shipment, the 16s are ridiculously good right now. And they're 5 years old, so I mean they still have time to go. But my God, this is the sweet spot. They're starting to
What's
develop.
your perfect drinking age? It used to be the 20s.
Yeah.
He liked them young.
That's right. It depends what I'm drinking.
You're drinking Pinot.
I mean, like I said, the 19 Pinots, the 17, 18, and 19 are all totally different. 17's a little more elegant, a little leaner, a little more, it's a cooler year. 18 was warmer, a little richer, and 19 just seems to be just a delicious wine across the board.
19 was apparently an easy one for winemakers. Mother Nature,
everything was in a row then.
So you talk while I do my pairing.
Okay, I want you to.
The pairing is
right.
wine.
Wine. That. So it's got the Duxelles, which is mushrooms, cooked down until there's no liquid left. It's got prosciutto wrapped around the fillet, which is two high umami things, and then puff pastry with all kinds of butter and good stuff in it. And the wine has got the acid to cut through all that, and it's got the fruit to stand up to it. And I like this as much as the Newness. Newness has a little more depth to it, but this goes great with it.
That actually goes really well.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of beef do you use? Sure, you talked about this next week.
Filet mignon.
Okay.
It's all filet. I mean, it's not a cheap cut of meat, but it goes. It's a beautiful cut of meat. You can't really use another cut of meat. You need something tender and moist that cooks quick, because the puff pastry has to cook first, and then you sear off you brown off the meat. But the meat has to cook to a certain temperature. It's got to be 35, 45 minutes. And
one of my favorites is the salmon Wellington. And all you do is sub salmon for the beef, and the salmon's.
I did that recipe too, and there are different parameters for that. It cooks different. The Duxelles has more lemon and citrus in it, and it's wonderful. I've done it actually. I did it for the staff before we published the recipe, and everyone liked it. So anyway, it's a good. If those that don't like beef or are not heavy into the beef is delicious. Or do both, but it's a side of salmon. Just like a lot of people think of filet as just a cut of meat, like a little thing like that. But you just get the roast.
Get the one they don't cut.
Yeah, get one from 2.5 to 5 pounds, and you're doing good.
Julia wants to see the food. Julia, it's almost gone. There's the food. If it doesn't drop, he gave me spinach to give color.
Yeah.
But he told me I don't have to eat it.
I don't have to eat it, even though it's good for her.
Fine.
Okay, that's
you happy?
It's not perfectly paired though.
Okay, so one of my, I don't know. I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
So one of my other favorite dishes that you made was Voodoo Pasta. And a couple of years ago, the winery, we traveled. So the winery did a cruise from New Orleans up the Mississippi, down the Mississippi on a paddle boat. And we came up with a wine. They did our whole wine dinner menu for a wine dinner on board the ship. And one of their items was Voodoo Pasta. That is all they told us. And so I went to Jim and I was like, well, for our club newsletter, I think it'd be fun to do a Voodoo Pasta. Well, what's in it? I have no idea. We need to Google it. We need to figure it out. And so you did, and you knocked it out of the ballpark.
We've gotten lots of good feedback on that recipe.
It's an easy recipe. I don't know how many ingredients are in there. Super easy recipe, but check out our recipe for the Voodoo Pasta.
It's
so
great.
simple and delicious. We haven't had that in a while. We should.
No, we haven't had it in a couple of years. Maybe we should do it for Mardi Gras. There we go. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
It was absolutely so delicious. Ron makes filet beef for Christmas and serves his. You served the coveted mukaida. Which year are you serving? Well done. Well, and Ron, that's why we were kind of thinking of what recipe should we do for perfectly paired this season, and we kind of decided to do beef because everybody had turkey last semester.
We're not in school anymore.
Last month, everyone had their turkey. I did make my turkey. I used your broth, by the way. It was delicious.
Oh, good.
Delicious. Amazing. All right, what else?
And one of our cooking shows was the wild mushroom bread pudding. And I got a lot of comments from people that said we had that, and it was the hit of Thanksgiving. And that next month is the next show I think we're going to put together. It's soup month for January at the winery. We kind of purge, we clean our systems, we have liquids all month.
We do.
And we're all kind of tired of them at the end. But I think I'm going to do a nice soup to go with one of our Pinots for January, which it's a soup month. Every year we've been doing that.
Well, the funniest thing is halfway through soup month, it's soup month with adult cheese. With possibly a burger slider.
Yeah, well, you have to have some substance.
Huge croutons. No, you guys do a great job with soup month.
We do. I mean, we do clam chowder and we do
5,
French
10,
onion,
20.
but that's not enough to.
25 days of soup,
Mhm.
and I've yet to lose a pound. By the way, it was not working at all. Alrighty, excellent. Well. Let's see. I'm going to wrap up now. We're done. Would you believe it? Thank goodness we sold
I've
over
had
wine.
fun being here. It's my first time on Wine Wednesday. I do all the cooking.
It's his second time.
Oh, second. Okay.
But Cachio Pepe was his first.
Oh, that was on Wine Wednesday. That wasn't my cooking show.
First.
Yes, it's so special.
So anyways, thank you guys for joining us. We've got more online stuff. We've got stuff happening. World's opening. Even with this new variant, who knows? But World's opening. Come see us. Clearly, tasting room is open. We've got paella and Pinot next week, but I think it's sold out. Chardonnay and lobster is sold out. You guys are amazing out there. We have the perfect trio. We worked with Journeyman Salami. We've had them on One Wednesday before. They made specialty salumis.
Yeah.
Or sausages.
They made a
sausages
Parmesan cheese and porcini mushroom salami.
With our wine.
And a fennel salami and with our wine in it. And I hate to say it, but I think it's better than their original product.
I think you can say that. Because
our
wine's.
But I love the original Journeyman stuff. But this is
all
better.
the Journeyman stuff and their bacon sandwiches. All the Journeyman stuff's great. But anyways, we've got it's called the Perfect Trio. It's on our website. You can get tickets now. That'll be in January. We have a bodega staycation coming up. You want to
what about Palm Springs? Palm Springs is coming up.
Palm Springs is in January. Come see us, Passion for Pinot. We're gonna do a big dinner, a big appetizer, cocktail, happy hour, Pinot hour the night before on January 7th and 8th. February is Chardonnay and lobster, but it's waitlisted. So shoot me an email if you want to come, and we'll see what happens. February, March is Wine Club. April is Bodega Staycation. 3 days on the coast, Bodega. Wine dinner, wine wings, Riedel seminar. Going to be amazing. Hang out with us the whole time. April, May Spring Wine Club party. We just picked the date. We're getting those details together. And of course, if you really want to commit and love us so much, we are cruising in 2023, Istanbul to Rome. We have about 5 cabins left. Would love to see anybody who wants to hang out with us.
And I want to thank the people.
And
2 weeks ago, we were in San Diego, and we saw lots of our people, and our wines went fast, and it was a great event.
We did. We had like 60 of you guys showed up to drink wine with us. Thank you. And then we hung out on the bay. It was amazing. I couldn't get home.
Right. Eventually you did.
Everybody was amazing. It's always fun to see everybody out and about as well. And
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now, December 15th, is going to be our last live Wine and Whatever Wednesday. So Ben will be with me again. We're going to get him out of the pool, for goodness sakes. The weather's about to turn cold. So we'll pull him out of the pool. Ben and I will be on. We'll be drinking some of wines from our cellar. I don't know what we're going to drink. I'm going to challenge him to pick a bottle and me to pick a bottle. He doesn't know that yet. And we're just going to recap the last year and a half. We've done 60, 70 of these lives. Wow. We've done Perfectly Pairs. We've done monthly updates. We've done all kinds of stuff because of the pandemic and World's opening. We're going to move on to bigger, better things next year. Beyond excited, thankful everybody joined us. But yeah, join us December 15th.
And next year, like I said, I have another year of special recipes and pairings to go with our wine. So keep watching.
We love you. We love you guys.
Thank you
for everyone's support.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Great to be here. Thanks for the invite.